Thanks for staying with us. You welcome back to the program, the local and the international news and the analysis on your voice radio station. Once again, you welcome back and the news analysis. Prostitution law will be changed, will be amended in the Northern Ireland. As proposed, the law would make sure that paying for sex in the Northern Ireland will be prohibited or will be a criminal offense. In the United Kingdom, across the United Kingdom, it is not illegal for one to solicit for sex or pay for sex. But the Northern Ireland has come together, a multi-party discussion has come together to raise an awareness or sensitizing people or soliciting the support of the entire Northern Ireland that they want to re-amend or amend the law of prostitution and human trafficking in the Northern Ireland. This is a consensus building and it's been sent out to collate the views of people as to whether to amend the law that one can solicit or pay for sex, or one should not be allowed by the law to pay for sex. In doing this is a way of curtailing or stopping human trafficking, as was said by Lord Morrow, that in Sweden, because of the zero tolerance for paying or buying for sex, they have been able to stop human trafficking in the country. Therefore, the Northern Ireland, is making a law by general consensus, democratic way, to get a view of the people of the country to determine whether to bar paying for sex. This is a statement, or this is a step in a right direction, because as many a times sex workers are trafficked from different countries, different locations to other places to be forced into that kind of business where people exploit them, exploitation, slavery, enslaving them. So if the country or a country makes a law that bar anybody to buy sex or to pay for sex, I think this is a step in the right direction, whereby it will be disincentive to traffic somebody from, let's say, Africa, Romania, or Asia to a particular place like England or Wales or Northern Ireland to use them as your slaves to work for you. So we applaud the Northern Ireland for bringing up this law to curtailing human trafficking and paying for sex. In a related issue, the Jordanian Paralympic team, who was training at the Antrim Forum Centre in the borough of Antrim Council, 3 men have so far been arrested by the police for sexual assault, which of course the police is saying that currently an investigation is going on. Therefore, they cannot comment further on the allegedly assault issue. But the question is, why is it that this kind of attitude has been putting up in the Antrim Leisure Centre, where Jordanian will come all the way from Jordan to come for this Paralympic, and their training grounds will be used for this kind of immoral act. It is immoral act, of course, because whether you coerced, whether you bought sex, or whether you did it in any way to gratify your sexual pleasure, it's not logic. You cannot do that. Why didn't you do it in Jordan? And you are coming to do it here with Paralympics. You are coming for a purpose, for a sporting purpose. So if you have anything to do at all, you could have waited after the games. You could have gone to a registered place if you want to have access to a prostitute, as we said earlier on. There are prostitutes in anywhere, dotted across Soho. They are dotted across the country. You can go and pay for sex, but you cannot do it whilst a lot of Paralympians are using the same facility, and you go and assault people. So I think it is a good step taken by the police to investigate this immoral act at the Antrim Leisure Centre. A boy was also marched from Manchester Arndale Centre after adoption, which is very, very unusual. A 14-year-old boy was marched by 2 men and later on assaulted him sexually. One sexually assaulted him. This happened in the glare full daylight at about 5:45 p.m. where a lot of shoppers, commuters were around Arndale area. If anybody knows Arndale area in Manchester, very busy place. How can a boy be marched to a toilet and sexually assault him? But the question is, after 2 months before police releasing the CCTV footage of these 2 men, isn't it belated? Isn't it too late? I think it should have been released earlier on, as the MP said, Mr. Lloyd said, that this should have been released earlier to raise an alarm, to create an awareness that there are some bad people around this area, for the commuters, the shoppers, and the shop owners to be able to identify it and help police to arrest these men. But I think nothing is too late. The police is still working on it to get these perpetrators brought to justice. And we look at this from this angle. Couldn't it have been a murder issue? Because as the boy was marched from one point to another point without any alarm being raised by anybody that this boy is under duress or under coercion to do something against his will. In spite of all the security cameras within that area, nobody was able to identify it. In spite of all the huge traffic of human shoppers and traffic, nobody was able to identify that this boy was under some form of pressure to do something against his will. Well, let's leave it to the experts, the police officers, and the people within the confines of the law to handle this issue. And we hope and believe that this heinous crime, these perpetrators of this heinous crime, will be brought to justice. In Africa, Liberia, the president of Liberia, Charles Sirleaf, has suspended 46 members of her cabinet, of her government, including her son, Charles, who has failed to declare his asset to the anti-corruption authorities in Liberia. He was suspended by the mom, and this has brought a lot of controversy into the country. Critics have accused Sirleaf, the Nobel Peace laureate, of nepotism. I think this is even lesser accusation on her. How can you appoint 3 of your children onto government or onto high position in the government? Don't we have an equal intelligent or people well versed in governance in the country rather than your children? This is also how one can determine how people in authority in Africa and some part of the world use the mandate given them by the majority of the people to exploit, to corrupt, to cheat, and to steal, and to help themselves whilst they are in government. I believe that what President Sirleaf has done should be condemned by all meaningful or everybody who understand or who is willing to understand democracy in Africa. Because by appointing 3 of your children, your sons, onto boards, onto high profile positions, that's uncalled for. And one of the children has the audacity to challenge in court or to sue a newspaper in Liberia and an opposition politician that they are saying something which he perceived is not right. Nobody does that. You can go to court and challenge it. But before you go to court, ask yourself, do you have the moral right to do that? Does the president has the moral obligation or has the moral right to appoint 3 of her own children onto high positions in governance in Liberia? This is a question that we need to answer, and a question that must come from the Liberian president, whether she did it as a result of competency or she did it because she wanted the children to have position in government so that in future they can be elected into political administration. We equate this to what happened in Libya, where it was quoted or it was said that Gaddafi is preparing his son, Saif Gaddafi, to be the next president of Liberia. And for that matter, that is the heinous crime that hasn't happened in this world before. And for that matter, Gaddafi must go, and we forced Gaddafi to go by killing him. Stay tuned to Your Voice Radio on the internet. Today's news and news analysis. Thank you for staying with us.